CONCAFA. CONCAFA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CONCAFA Soccer Pod. I am one of your hosts, Bubba Gumpino, joined by Geoff Cameron Brek Shea, two legends of the game, and more importantly, two American legends of the game who wore that jersey very, very proudly. How we feeling, boys?
We're doing well, man. How are you doing?
It's all right. I mean, Liverpool land's always fucking hot in the streets. We just keep, we're gonna win the league, but nothing seems to fucking matter. Something always happening. That's just what it is.
What's your feeling on that? What's going on?
We can,
like you're never satisfied.
yeah. Well, I'm good, but it's everybody else. But we should start with the Nations League. Mexico beats Panama. Canada knocks off the U.S. in the third place game. Wasn't pretty for Canada or U.S. in my opinion. And I'll give you guys the floor. You guys share your thoughts on it.
Brek, you wanna start, or you want me?
You can go for it.
I'll go ham. No, I think a couple things. I thought Mexico showed up. They delivered. They're back at the top. Obviously, they got a good group of guys now that are fucking hungry, and they showed it. For me, that the final, Panama, Mexico, first 15 minutes, the tone was set, man. They were like, it was intense. Tackles for both sides. The intensity was up. And I think that was a big thing for me watching US, Canada. It was just like, there wasn't that intensity. And now, like, for what it is, there's good games, bad games. Everybody has it, right? There's an off feeling to it, right? People talking about. For me, I think the media need to chill the fuck out. Okay, everybody needs to fucking chill the fuck out because it's a bad run of games. Okay, you can figure that out. It will come together, right? So we just gotta support the national team, support the players. Now, are there a particular few individuals that need to get a kick up the ass? 100%. But it will happen, right? I believe in Pochettino. I believe in that he will sort it out. I thought there was a lot of answers. People saying there was a lot of questions. No, I think he figured it out. I think he knows who he can rely on. He had the January camps. He took some players in, the good professionalism, the guys that, he want to integrate with the European guys. And there was a few injuries, some key injuries. But I think now he's going to say, okay, these guys can definitely fit in this group. And then maybe in the European group, you know what? I'm not a fan of this player, or, just whatever, right? I think now it's about finding out which players we can play in their strengths in those particular areas, and how can we get this team gelled together. We have time. People need to fucking chill out, right? That's my belief. I support these guys, and people putting pressure. I see these ex-national team players saying all this shit, and you're just like, dude, come on. Like, you've been in their shoes. You've had off games and off tempo. Yes, maybe you had a little bit more bite, right? Things get tough. But calm down. Remember, you were a player once. It's hard, right, Breck? When you say the tempo's off, it's really flat. How do you fucking get that energy out, right? It takes one person to fucking lay a tackle and set the tone, right? And then the game changes a little bit. It was flat on both sides, really, particularly, right?
Yeah.
I thought Canada were the better team. I think, right
Still
now
not
we
great.
just say what?
I said they still weren't great.
No,
Canada.
No,
but
not at all.
no. And I just think that there's something more, right? We're lacking something. We can't just rely on Christian to fucking have a blinder of a game.
That's
And
my biggest issue, Jeff, is I think
yeah,
unless Pulisic's fucking playing out of his ass, that team is in trouble right now.
yeah.
But I think Poch will fix that. I think you just have to fucking relax. And as we talked about this last week, it's so hard picking guys that are in form. Like Gio Reyna, you line up all the Americans that you could pick right now. Gio Reyna has to be on that squad. But then you find out after one game he's not fucking fit. And you see a guy like Diego Luna, who plays in the MLS, is not playing in Europe, but he's fit, and he was the best player against Canada by far. Yeah. That guy worked his tail off, man.
I would say, he had the grit. He had that fight. He had something to prove,
Yeah.
He wanted to show that he deserved to be there. On another positive note, I liked Timothy Weah. I thought he was exciting. And Patrick Aubameyang, like you see those three combined for the goal. I mean,
URI alum right there.
A lot of things were bad, but that goal was great. Same. I mean, switch ball, Timothy Weah driving, committing defenders, a good run by Luna. Played it in and a nice layoff for the goal. I mean, so if we're looking at positive, that was a pretty bright spot.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's one of those. It's the first time Christian's played with some of these guys.
First
right?
time Poch is coached in a fucking competitive competition with these guys. And the issue, you touched on it, these guys didn't fucking label themselves the golden generation.
Yeah,
you motherfuckers did.
Yeah.
Like, we knew, crazy. I know Pulisic and Reyna are great, but besides that, like, what has McKennie done in the recent bias that has proven he's going to step up in a big moment right now? And we touched on Matt Turner not playing. You saw it, dude. He was standing on the fucking post. Yeah. Like the wrong.
I mean, yeah, and that's where now there's opportunities now, people to fight for the position, right? And I think that, when people after listening to the talk show and listen to Charlie Davies and this, some of the stuff he was saying, I'm just like, I'm fucking mind boggled because it didn't make sense. Listen, there was a lot of answers from that game. Now they know, okay, hey, I can rely on this guy. This guy fucking he grafted, he put an effort in. And this goes back to, they don't know what was happening in training sessions, what these guys saw, right? Everything is fucking watched and monitored. You're telling me these guys didn't get fucking lit up at halftime or after the game? Of course they fucking did. So there's going to be a reaction. There's going to be accountability, and these guys have big shoulders, right? They have big characters. Now, like a guy like Christian, he just wants to fucking play.
Yeah.
He's a winner. He wants to win. So all these people, these critics, and some of these ex-national team players saying shit, fuck you. Because you know what? You don't need to say that. This guy is similar. Like Clint said it best. Clint just wanted to fucking play.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't need the captaincy. He just wanted to fucking ball out and do his thing. Michael was the captain. Michael wanted to be the captain, and he was a good captain. But guess what? Clint didn't care. He just wanted to fucking play.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Christian. Christian just wants to fucking play. Let him do his thing. Stop letting all the media, all these fucking people say all this shit when they don't need to. You know what? Like, hey, we got how much time? We got to get behind them and say, hey, we're here for you. Let's fucking go. It's in our country. Let's step up. And you're telling me when the World Cup's here, these guys aren't going to get fucking jacked up?
Like those crowds are going to be like that. That's also another issue. Like, you playing in a fucking like empty stadium, man. Like, no one was there for either fucking game. Like, that's a concern, man.
Concern, or is it because it was priced out?
Yeah,
you're hearing
true.
For the World Cup that are coming out. It's fucking outrageous.
Yeah,
you
true.
know.
Yeah.
Are you pricing out the families that now it goes back to the culture? The Mexican fans, they travel everywhere.
Right? No matter what.
They work their ass off. They save their money and they'll spend the money. If it's a $2,000 for a ticket, they'll spend it because that's their passion. That's their culture. We got so much shit. They're in LA. There's all these other things there, distractions.
Why did they change it from Vegas? I thought it was in Vegas every fucking year, and it was packed all the time.
I think I don't know. Check out that stadium before the World Cup and see how things.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm making that up, but
you're probably spot on.
It looked a little.
I will say, my son was born in Vancouver, so he thinks he's Canadian through and through. So I had to listen to him talk shit to me over Canada beating US after CONCAFA Nations League, but then after Four Nations. So hockey, he's been just beating me up.
He's got the double bubble
right now.
And Alfonso Davies tears his ACL, so he's it's like, dude.
Gumpy, what do you think?
Is that what happened?
Yeah, torn ACL.
Oh.
Yeah. What's that?
What do you think of Gumpy's Jesse Marsh's reaction as a Canadian?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that? What do you think?
For me, if it was against Mexico in the first game when there was a penalty,
Yeah,
I would have been on board with it.
yeah,
That felt more like this is something that I'm gonna do for myself.
yeah.
That wasn't a game. It was a zero. It was a fucking 0-0 game. Nobody was outplaying anybody at that point. You could say maybe Canada outplaying. Like you weren't down a goal and need to fucking get the boys juiced up.
Yeah.
That felt like something he did for himself for whatever fucking reason. And I don't know the backstory. I don't know if anybody does, because when anybody talks about it, people say he was offered that job. Other people say he was never offered that job. People say he turned down that job. I don't know what the full fucking story is. I don't know if anybody does. But for me, especially since it wasn't a fucking foul. Like if it was a foul, if it was a foul or close to a foul, the player would have got up and lost his fucking mind. If I ever got touched in the box, I was fucking losing my shit. I would have chased after the ref. That's fucking, it happened, dude. One time I got shoved 2-hand from behind. We're at the fucking BCs. So the BCs is like, if you win everything, the top teams from Victoria and Vancouver go for a tournament, and it's the top teams in British Columbia. So first game, I'm fucking dribbling, 2-hand shove in the back.
Can we get highlights on this shit?
I wish I still had him. 2-hand shove in the back. I get up, I'm like, what the fuck? And I go to the ref. He's fucking ain't got nothing to say. Like, it was in Vancouver. If you lived in Victoria, you knew you went to Vancouver, you ain't getting no fucking calls. So I snapped, ran down, followed the guy who fucking 2-hand shoved me, jumped on his back, and fucking dragged him down to the ground. No one saw it. Somebody, I just got a yellow card because no one fucking saw shit. Ref turned around. He just saw both of us rolling around on the ground. It was like, that's a yellow. But yeah, like if that was a penalty, that guy's losing his mind. So Jesse Marsh took what happened against Mexico, where it was a penalty, carried that over, and then lost his mind over something that was never a foul.
Yeah.
You know?
Professionalism.
Yeah.
If that's in the World Cup, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to fucking act like that?
If that's in the World Cup, that happens in the first game, they might kick you out for the whole fucking group stage. And then they got the fucking cameras following him around. He's running around in the back. He's up in the box.
Like walking out.
I was like, why are we following this guy around? He got a fucking red. Like, why don't we do that with the players then? If we're gonna fucking go into the back, see what they're doing. It's like,
that would be nice.
Legit. Like if that's what we're gonna do, like
kicked, punched.
Yeah, like it was a bit too much for me. And people, I don't know. A lot of people from Canada said they liked it, but like I said, I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know
if definitely a little butthurt. He's definitely a little butthurt.
But was he? That's what I'm saying. Does he have a right to be? Because I don't know. I don't know. They say, like, some people, I watched these other shows and they say he was offered the job. He wasn't offered the job. He turned it down. Like, I think his point of view, from what my understanding is, he thought he was never offered the job. And I think other people think he turned down the job.
I've seen the interviews when he was just like, yeah, like, they didn't come asking, or they treated me disrespectfully. Okay, you disrespectfully. You also represented this country, right?
Yes.
You played on this team.
Yeah.
So, like, bite your tongue a little bit. Like, you're part of this.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna go away. Okay, yeah, like it maybe fuels you a little bit, but dude, have some more class, I would say. Like, just be a little bit more fucking classy.
He did this at Leeds too, though, man. Remember when Leeds started playing well under him? He started talking his shit. It's like, man. Like,
well, I remember when I was there, the first week, it was like, he said shit. You're like, you can't compare yourself to fucking Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho.
And that Leeds team was good.
On Sky Sports.
Yeah. So like,
what?
And like Clint Dempsey and Thierry touched on it. Is like, is this Canadian team better under him than they were under Herdman?
Because he didn't build it.
I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I think Herdman was I think he did a good job.
Me too. Yeah.
But it's like at this point in time, I'm not ready to say that Marsh has done a better job than fucking Herdman.
I mean, look at his record.
Yeah. But like I said, for me, and I think you agree, it's like that was for him.
Yeah, 100%.
That wasn't for the team or to get the boys juiced up, because like I said, it was 0-0.
Yeah.
But
And it's
enough.
early in the game.
Are you saying
What's
because
that?
he played for the US, you're mad he took that job?
No, not at all. I'm saying, like, listen, you're coming out and you're slaughtering, like, you didn't get the job. Okay, because they wanted to go somewhere else. They didn't offer you the job. Okay, get over it. Now you go to the fucking rival and now you're running your mouth. Stop. You're already in the position. You're the head coach for the Canadian national team. It's over with. Forget about it. Focus on your own fucking shit, right? Like, he just makes it an issue. It becomes, and I think it's just more of like, he was the type of player, as well as, he just talked a lot or whatever. I'm not saying he wasn't a good player. He was a good player. But now you have to have a little bit more about you, as in, like, hey, let your fucking coaching do the talking.
Chip on your
right?
shoulder's good as a player. I don't know if it's good as a coach.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be the fucking level-headed one, keeping the boys galvanized. I don't know. Like I said, chip on your shoulder is a great thing if you're a player, because it's fuck you to everybody. But I don't know if that's helping you in a coaching situation.
I mean, if you think about every interview that he's done, hasn't there always been like an underlying issue or something that he said to say, like, about the U.S., right? Whether it's a question from the reporter or the journalist or whatever, it doesn't matter. All he has to say is, "No, I'm right. I don't want to answer this. I'm not focused on that. I want to focus on my team."
Well, and just because you're asked it doesn't mean you have to answer.
Yeah, legit. And like, everyone got pissed off at Herdman at the World Cup because he said they were going to fuck Croatia up. It's like, man, like, what do you want the coach to say? Like, he was trying to rally the troops. Like, yeah, maybe don't say it when fucking cameras around right after a game. Maybe not. But like, the same thing's being said in the locker room by every coach. Yeah. It's like, guess what? Croatia didn't need fucking our coach didn't wind them up so Croatia was going to beat Canada. Croatia has been better than Canada at soccer for 100 fucking years, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't beat us in the World Cup because the coach said that. Like, he was trying to galvanize the team. So I don't know.
I mean, dude, I remember Jurgen were playing Germany in DC, and they're World Cup champions, right?
Yeah.
And he's coached some of these guys at Bayern Munich, and he's going against his old country, right? And you're just like, this is before the World Cup, and you're just like, he wants to fucking smash them.
Oh, yeah.
At the World Cup, he's saying, hey, let's go out there and fucking put it to them. These guys, hey, they think they're above everybody. Hey, let's put them down a peg. And that was like, he wanted to beat them. He had something to prove. That was, did he come out in public and he said, hey, I'm here. I'm the national team's coach. Hey, US, I want the US. This is my focus. He didn't answer any of the bullshit because he was present and he was in that space, right? I just think it's not about you. It's about the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
At the end of the day.
100%.
I agree. But any team you've coached, or if I look at it as a player, any team I played for, and then I was playing for another team, I didn't say it out loud, but I always wanted to destroy that team that I used to play for.
Oh, yeah.
So you could see that with Jurgen.
Yeah.
Obviously, playing Germany, you want to beat them anyway, but he had a little extra on his plate.
Where'd you lose in the World Cup? Was it the quarters? You lose to Portugal?
Belgium.
You beat Portugal?
Tied.
When Howard stood on his head, right?
No, that was Belgium.
Oh, that was Belgium?
Yeah, Tim was unbelievable that fucking game.
That was absurd. I remember watching that fucking game, dude.
He was unreal, man.
Holy fuck.
He was like a different specimen then, man. Shit. But he was an amazing goalie, man. And like,
also felt like a leader too.
Yeah, good friend. And he'd tell you your shit when you're shit. Hey, I need you better. And he'd hold you accountable. Like, seriously. Like,
yeah.
He was, and that's what, like, there was fights in the fucking on the pitch. Like, there was fights in every camp. Guys fucking grabbing each other, all fighting because there was passion, right? And I think that's where, can we have a little bit more of that? That's what you feel like. We got to roll up our sleeves. We want, as we say, right? We want some fucking dogs, right? You want dogs going to eat a dog, right? Like at the end of the day, it's who's going to be, a little bit tougher? Who's going to be more nasty, right? And that's it.
There's also
Show that
there's
passion.
nothing wrong. Like people, it's like there's nothing wrong with fucking sticking a tackle early like that.
No.
At the 5-10 minutes in, just fucking stick one and just get on with it.
Tone.
Yeah, like even if you
100%.
take a yellow, yeah, it sucks. You got a yellow 10 minutes into the game, but if it fucking wakes everybody fucking up, then it don't fucking matter.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be curious to see how many of the past couple years, if there's been any inside brawls inside the national team camp, just to see like the environment and see if there's anyone with a couple cojones that would press on somebody else.
I imagine it was so awkward with the rain of shit with Berhalter. It had to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Awkward, and we're outside it. Every time I talk about it, I feel like it's awkward.
Yeah, dude. It's like, did everyone on the team know that was going on? Like, that was such an interesting. And the way it was like, it's like people are pissed off and like, okay, maybe Poch isn't a good coach. It's like, man, my whole issue when they brought Berhalter back is Berhalter went on a fucking tour trying to find a different job.
Yeah.
And then he came back.
Yeah. Or, I mean, my other thing was when he had the meeting and players said, hey, we keep it in here. And then as soon as they get out, he fucking opens up a can of worms.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, they could have been all avoided. And then it was just, yeah, boom, it was open. Like you didn't need that. It caused more problems at the end of the day.
But you look
more
at
attention.
You look at a team like Argentina, man. It's like they beat Brazil for the 4th fucking time in a row. And you look, and that's without Messi. And you look at that team, it's like that team is, and especially at the international level, they are such a fucking team, man.
Yeah.
Like, look at Brazil. Look at all the stars on Brazil. They're not good.
They're just,
we talked about it recently, like with club teams, about how club teams need like a core group of guys. Like that Argentina team has a core group of guys, and you watch them play. They know where they need to be. They know where to check in, to move out, and they just rotate so well and complement each other.
That makes it so unbelievable to think about what those old Brazil teams put together. Like, think about those guys.
They were chilling, having fun.
Dude, think about those guys. Dude, putting their egos aside, man. Like Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Cafu, Ronaldinho. Like when they beat Germany in the final of 2002, where's that, Seoul?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Because Ronaldo scored the one late off a rebound from Con. Because Con was talking all that shit. Like
shit.
Oh, so much shit.
But that, like, it was like, wasn't like Yogo Bonito or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, and it was like
but that think about
Nike
that
commercials.
And then you think about 98, the France team that beat Brazil. What, like, that story's never come out either. There's so many interesting stories they talk about in that Brazil locker room. Like Ronaldo was sick. There was a fight in the change room before the game started. It's like that France team was so good. That game was never close.
Zidane.
Legend,
different level, man.
I wonder if he'll ever get back into coaching. You always hear his name. Because the rumor is Brazil want Ancelotti as their coach.
Ancelotti's
right.
I just pictured him.
I could see it.
So Ancelotti goes to Brazil. Does Zidane go back to Real?
I could see it.
And you want to fucking talk about Real? Fucking Trent Alexander-Arnold. It has not been confirmed anywhere, but it is. Fabrizio Romano's been running with it.
What's your feeling?
Right, isn't he?
He's good. So I'm having a tough time with it. I fucking hate it, to be honest. And we talked about it before. He can go to Real Madrid. He could win the fucking La Liga 10 times, Champions League 5 times. He won't be a Liverpool legend, man. And that's such a tough thing at 26.
Well, what do you want from him? I mean, he's been there first team for a decade, right? He's almost got, 300 appearances or just short?
Yeah, but if he went to them and said, I wanted to go, you know what I mean? Like, even when Coutinho pulled his bullshit, he signed a new contract and got sold for 140. You know what I mean? So you're walking on a free.
Yeah, but
when you haven't said shit all year. Like the guy hasn't talked to anybody. You look at guys like Van Dijk and Salah. Like apparently Salah is saying now, whether that's true or not, Van Dijk, like they've said they've liked to say. I think it hurts because it's a Liverpool kid who grew up there and he hasn't said anything. I think that's what probably, like, Liverpool fans are fucking pissed.
I think anything he says, they're going to twist it against him, no matter what he says.
Sure.
But
that's
now,
probably why he's kept his mouth shut all year, because he's had that pressure on him. You don't know. Like, maybe they offered him a low ball position, right? Like an offer. And he's like, you know, like, now you have Real Madrid. I'm sure there's other Premier League teams that are fucking offering him. Like, he's going to be free at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But he's at his hometown. Okay, he's seen, you know, Gerrard there, right? He's his boyhood, like, legend club. He got to play alongside him. He was fucking there. He's won everything at the club. Now, maybe he's just sick and tired of, you know, just being in his home environment. And, you know, you got leeches all around you. People are just, you know, he just needs he wants to go somewhere else, right? And he wants a different challenge. I think everybody should be like, you know what? Thank you. You know what? Like, you've been unbelievable since 6 years old. He's been at that club, you know, and he's not just a fan. He was there. He played in the academies. He's a product of that environment, right? He's a product of that academy system, that developmental. It's kudos to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool should be like, unbelievable. Now he's got an opportunity to go play at one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? If not the biggest club.
Will it feel the same though? You know what I mean?
But you maybe he needs that challenge.
And then, you know, and then this is why we talk about, like, this is why it's so hard for England to fucking win anything. Because now you go, you're going to get to the World Cup and you're going to have Trent, and then everyone's going to say fucking Jude fucking told him to go because they're best friends. So now Jude's going to get it 10 times worse now. And anytime Trent does everything, not only will all of England already turned on Trent, Liverpool fans were the only ones that were sticking up for him. So now the Liverpool fans are going to be turned even worse. Like, it's just you're never going to get out of it. It's such a, I don't know.
The media is hard.
It's brutal, dude. And then you get guys like, and I like Gary Neville. I do. Like, I hate Manchester United, but I think he's good at what he does. But, like, he's talking out of pocket, too, to Carragher. It's like I know Carragher can be a fucking knob, but he knows Liverpool, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he knows what it is. And Neville was talking on the overlap. He's like, let's do a poll and see. It's like, you can't do a poll now to see who's the most popular when everyone knows Trent's fucking leaving.
All right. What if he goes there 5, 6, 7 years and comes back and ends his career at Liverpool? Is that all right?
No.
I
worry. I saw it with Michael Owen, man. I don't.
Yeah, but Michael Owen went Liverpool. He went to fucking
Real Madrid, but they get forgotten about, man. That's what I'm saying.
To Man United.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get forgotten about. Like, in the grand scheme of things in Liverpool history, like, Trent Alexander-Arnold won't be talked about the way that Gerrard, and he's 10 times the player that Carragher would ever be. But even he won't be talked about like Carragher because of this. Like, that's my thing. And that's not
agreed.
Like, I don't know if that's like.
But does he care about that though? Does he care?
I think you have to, man. You fucking
if it's like, you know what, he's won everything. He can look at his fucking wall and be like, hey, this, and this. More than Carragher. More than all these guys, right?
Yeah.
Now he gets an opportunity. Fucking Real Madrid offering him a deal that you cannot turn down, that he wouldn't get at fucking Liverpool, right? Now it's on a different level, right? Now he goes there. What if, say, he wins fucking 3 more? He signs a 5-year deal and he wins, and he signs like 3. He gets 3 Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Wins the league. That's fucking more on his shelf.
It's just,
what are you going to show?
I think the kicker too is it's just a dark cloud on winning the league now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what happens? Like, I don't want to see it. Like, but everybody, all the people you see in Liverpool are like, boo them at the fucking league winners thing. It's like, man, like, it's just a sad. It sucks because it's such a sad way to go out.
Yeah.
And like Klopp went out, like we didn't win it last year, but like Klopp went out the right way. Like I'm not saying
But
Trent's going out the wrong way,
if
but the
you win the
way
league,
I
if
think
you win the league though, and he says, I know it's tainted now because it's that's probably why he hasn't confirmed it. Right?
yeah,
Like maybe he hasn't come out and said, hey, I'm leaving. I'm definitely going to Real Madrid. Maybe he's like, oh, maybe he might have a conversation with Real Madrid and say, hey guys,
I think that's what he's trying to do. But
I'm going to
Fabrizio,
sign with you guys, but
Fabrizio
can we
is
announce it after?
Fabrizio's so dialed in with Real Madrid.
I know.
He's tweeting fucking videos of
dialed in with
himself
everybody.
talk. All the guy ever does is tweet. He puts out a fucking video talking about Trent. It's his fucking pin tweet. It's like, we get it, dude. Like,
He's fucking going.
it was such a, I think it's just also all Liverpool fans. This league was such a fucking high. And then you crash out of everything in a week. And now this news on top. It's like, man.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, at the start of the year, if someone told you Liverpool was going to win the league, you'd bite somebody's hand off with Klopp gone.
For sure.
And now it's like there's just a dark cloud over everything, and it's just it sucks, man. It sucks. It sucks to lose a good player, but it also sucks to lose the way FSG.
He's not going to walk alone. Okay,
he
won't.
might. There's
No, he
fucking
might.
people are saying he might walk alone. There's a lot of people saying
him walking up. The team stays behind. He walks up, gets his league medal.
legit. Legit. It might. They're saying he might walk alone, but it's like the way FSG does business too. We sold Coutinho, bought Van Dijk and Allison. If we would have sold Trent, you get fucking Isaac and somebody else. I think that's just knowing the way that Liverpool does business, and they don't buy. They're usually not. Their net spend is fucking nothing compared to all the big teams in England.
So maybe they need to fucking step up to keep the big boys.
Dude, they're fucking. Well, Salah's gonna stay.
So if
Trent leaves and they keep Salah and Van Dijk, I'm fucking good with it.
Okay, so
but if we lose Van Dijk, we're fucking cooked.
What if it goes the opposite? You got Virgil and Salah saying they're going to stay, and then when it comes down to it, they're fucking gone. You're going to be ripped out.
Oh, yeah, it'd be fucking dead. I'd be dead. It'd be over.
He'll burn his Liverpool shirt.
No, I would never do that. I never walk alone. I'm not like Trent. I'll never walk alone.
I never understand why people do that.
It's just it sucks. As a Liverpool fan, you never want to lose. And I'm not even from Liverpool. Never been to Liverpool. I can just imagine.
I think we should go.
We should
go.
But they're so passionate. Scousers are so passionate that I know, like, I'm fucking beat up about it. I can't imagine how they feel. It's one of your own, man. And then like they're tweeting all the old videos of. And then you see Stevie G fucking goes back for the Legends game. He's kissing the badge like it's fucking 15 years ago. Crouchy's banging in too. The best tweet ever. It's like Crouchy scored more goals than Nunez and Jota in the last fucking 2 months, dude. It's like
this year.
Yeah, legit. He has.
And he pulled the robot off.
Dude, he's the best. What a fucking legend, man.
Yeah. Crouchy's start with Liverpool was a bit rocky now.
Oh, buddy. Was it ever?
Yeah. I mean, but that's just, bro, I remember the first time I played against Liverpool, I go in a tackle and I get shoved over, right? I end up like climbing in like two rows in Liverpool and I'm like in it. And they're like, oh, that's sweet. Seems like they help me out and I turn around and they're like, fuck. Like, fucking wanker. And they were like, you American, what?
Oh,
and I'm like,
dude, you remember what they did to fucking, remember when what the papers did when Tim Howard went over there, man?
Yeah.
When he signed with Man U, they fucking killed him, dude. Like I say,
that's what I'm saying. It's ruthless, man.
That's the England media, man. It's like people think fucking people got it bad here, dude. That shit is fucking
no chance,
dude.
It's like 5 to 6 sports here that they get distracted with. There's one thing.
That's it. That's all they know.
And they get killed. You do one thing wrong, you're getting slaughtered.
I know,
You know?
I know England didn't play very good teams, but I mean, Tuchel's a fucking good coach, man.
What's your take on like foreign managers on,
I think back in the day frowned upon, but now I'm fucking good with it. It is what it is, man. You
well,
just
what is the stat though? I believe there is a stat there hasn't been a foreign manager to
that's
win a
one.
World Cup, right?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know that.
yeah, I read it the other day. I'm pretty sure it was correct, but you know, I'm just thinking like, okay, why are countries going out
Yeah, it's
hiring
interesting.
foreign managers? You know, maybe it's because I look at it as like you had our era, and then Jurgen comes in and he took it to another level.
Yeah.
That professionalism of the accountability and the standard of what he had as a player in Germany. And when he was the national team coach there, and he brought it over to the national team,
Yeah.
US. And then all of a sudden, people are losing their shit. We had, a little bit more strength and conditioning coaches, we had
More professionalism.
nutritionists, we had doctors, we had all this staff. And, for granted, there was a lot of staff. Guess what? After Greg Berhalter, they came into town in Cincy when I'm
Yeah.
there, they had fucking 40 staff members.
40?
It was crazy. But it was like for everything, for all the players in every single thing. And you go, okay, Jurgen was kind of ahead of his time in that way of making sure this whole operation behind closed doors is how can we get these guys all on the same page? They're coming
Yeah.
from all different clubs, and how do we get them all together, working together as one?
I think that's the
It's the
thing though.
challenge for us.
That's the thing though, Jeff, is you look, it's like if you're a foreign manager, it's fine until it's good. But as soon as it goes bad, like as soon as anything bad happened, I remember it as a kid, they turned on Jurgen fucking like that.
Quick.
And
Yeah.
it'll be the same thing with Tuchel. If it goes bad, it's like the only other who would you hire as an English manager? The only person I would say right now would be Eddie Howe from Newcastle. I think he's a good coach.
But it's not like Tuchel took over a bad team like that.
No,
Those
they were
players
right
are
there.
unbelievable.
But
And from top to bottom. And they lost in 2 finals back to back. So it's not like, he was picking up pieces.
It's just I think people of England just want to see a prettier style is what they're looking for. And Tuchel can do it. Everybody Neville said it. He said no matter what, Foden should be on that field. I don't think so, man. I really don't. I don't know what
It's a
happened.
tough one, man.
Dude, he's so good and he can do so much, but he's out there and it's like
It feels like he just needs a break a little bit,
like
a reset.
something's missing, man.
That happens though. Players need that. Like
Yeah.
they need a break. This guy's been going nonstop. Maybe he just needs to go on vacation, have a longer off season. People don't understand that commitment. Even the national team players,
Yeah.
these guys, the seasons are longer. They have fucking more games now compared to when we were playing, right? And maybe they have 10 extra games now. Well, guess what? Now they're Nations League. They have all these extra tournaments. Now you're adding goal. Like there's just more and more games, less time to recover, right? And mentally, you're just like, fuck.
That's what when we talked to
it's
LeBron.
hard.
We talked to LeBron yesterday. He said it had nothing to do with physical when he retires. He said it'll be
It's
my mental, man. I'll know when I don't fucking got the drive to want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's every day,
Yeah.
especially for those guys that play in the national team and stuff like that. And
And that shit's emotional too, man.
I mean,
Like you think like I can't imagine because I never did it, but like you guys, like I can imagine throwing on a jersey for your country. Like that shit is fucking, if you don't win, that shit would beat me up for weeks, man.
Yeah. Now, look, think of this, right? We have, Clint Dempsey, for me, one of the best players to ever play for the U.S. national team. And he was a fucking baller, right?
He was a dog.
He was a dog. And then you have Christian. Christian has done what he's done at his age and been at Dortmund, Chelsea, AC Milan, and he's balled out at these clubs
everywhere.
And then he's had injuries, national team at a young age. He's coming over and, it's been the reins passed on to him, right? At a younger age than any of these guys, past players or whatever, they haven't done what he's done already.
Yeah.
So people need to take that into account, right? This kid's at a fucking different level. No American before, right?
Yeah.
He's paving that way. All that stress and performing, the dude fucking performs week in and week out. When shit gets tough, he always steps up and he says, you know what? Fuck you. He proves you wrong. Don't doubt him because he'll be the one, he'll step up when it counts. And I have no doubt he's got the backing of Pochettino's seen some fucking unbelievable players, right?
Yep.
And he comes out, and what does he say? He could be one of the best 10s in the world. He believes in his ability.
Yeah.
That's fucking huge.
I think that's where Pochettino is going to be so huge because I know it didn't start great, whatever. Pochettino will find a way. The main thing, if you're the coach of that team, because Pulisic's going to show up, do his shit. I think when the U.S. takes their next step, it's like when Pulisic doesn't have a blinder, can they beat a fucking team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you go back and think about all these games. It's like anytime the U.S. wins a big game, it's like Pulisic's banging in 2 goals. It's like at some point, somebody else is going to have to fucking
step up and leave him a little bit.
But I think that's where the way Pochettino plays will help that. Yeah. And you just hope that he learned. You talked about it. They learned something from that tournament, and I think he did.
Yeah.
Like none of this
at summer, Gold Cup is so big for the U.S.
Yes.
And Pochettino. It's a time for them to be together for a long duration. Lots of games like a World Cup and see how they can gel.
And at the end of the day, like no matter what happens, all that matters is fucking the World Cup.
And that's where it's like, hey, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
It's okay. Relax. They're going to be in camp. There's more camps ahead. Okay. I know we're running out of time. Agreed. We did waste a year, right? Not getting the manager in right away. Okay. Now we have a good manager. He's been successful. First time doing a national team. Give it time. He's probably analyzing every single player with his staff, figuring out who he can gel in and where he knows the vision, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like no one else does. He sees it. He's probably trying to just figure out, hey, this guy's strengths here. You know what? We can use him here. Oh, you know what? He'll be a great sub coming in off the bench. He'll light it up. And he's probably picking these pieces, and then eventually he'll have them start balling. They'll start playing, and then it's like everybody buying into it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like everybody's fighting for something because it's kind of everybody's like, I don't want to make a mistake. I have to prove that I'm a good player. I'm playing for a position, and that makes you a little bit more reserved. Maybe that takes your foot off the gas a little bit, but because they're just trying to play safe, and then it ends up, you don't have the energy, you don't have that bite.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just that. I believe these guys will figure it out because they're too fucking talented to not, right? So that's my belief. That's my thought. I'm American. We got to get behind these dudes,
legit.
man, right?
You do. You should. It's like as soon as it's just for them. It also just never ends. Like it's like, man, anytime you go play for your country, you lose the first game. It's like these guys are fucked. It's
yeah.
Like,
they're too big time.
Yeah. It's like, dude. It's like, yeah. Guess what? You guys, we talked about it. Like you guys labeled them the golden generation. You think Pulisic and Reina fucking walked up and were like, we're the golden generation. It's like, but I think the issue for some of those guys too, it's like, I think they have the fallback of the MLS now where they could make big money. Like with McKennie, like, I don't know what's happened.
He was offered a payday at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And they offered him, they flew him in on their private jet. They did everything to try and get him. And you know what? Honestly, I thought he was going to go. because it'd be like, oh, that would be a nice thing for him to go back. But with his play drop, I believe so. I mean, because he wouldn't be demand, like the demand wouldn't be there as in the eyes as much it is on at a big club like Juventus, and the professionalism. Okay, it's not, people aren't on you
Yeah.
like they are over in Europe.
It's
right?
also such a thin line knowing should you go and make that move and not play or stay and play as much as you can. Like if
Right.
you're looking at some of these international coaches, like do they value a guy who's playing week in, week out in the MLS and banging goals in over a guy who's in Juventus fucking playing once a month?
Yeah,
Like the deal at the time sounds great. It's like he's playing in Juventus. It's like, but is he? Like Matt Turner got signed by Arsenal, but he's not playing.
yeah.
I think it's so
But-
hard to show up when you never get any fucking game time.
Agreed, but I would say this: if he's at Juventus and he's been playing this season,
Yeah.
right? He's had a good role. If let's just say he's not playing at all, and he's fucking training every single day with those players on that roster,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but whether you put him in any fucking MLS team, any MLS team compared to the fucking reserves for Juventus, it's night and day,
Yeah.
right? The standard, how they train is at a different level.
That much
and
better.
that's just that's facts.
Yeah.
MLS are not at that level. It can eventually get there, but training there, reserve games or whatever, you're still playing, you're still fit. You might not be the sharpest because you're not getting game minutes or whatever, but you're still training at a very, very high level. So you get them in, okay, you have longer time with the national team. You might have a friendly before you have some qualifiers or the Nations League or whatever, the Gold Cup. You have more time, right? Get him a few games, boom, now he's flying. That's my thought. If you put that in,
you know more than I fucking do. That was just
I mean, Brek, would you say like you're still training and playing these guys at world class players? Are you having world class players and?
Yeah, you're saying like maybe he hasn't been the bright spot for the national team recently, but for his club, he's been playing, and not only been playing, he's been playing multiple positions and being a bright spot for Juve at like left back, at center mid, right? You know what I mean? Like he's been a utility player for that team this year, and it's been pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, and when he's on, he's fucking on.
He is. He's filthy. He can
And
spread the
it's like-
ball. He's one of those guys that can spread the ball around. And if you don't watch that much soccer, a guy that can fucking ping the ball from side to side with accuracy is so fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like you talk about David Beckham, everyone talks about the free kicks and shit. That guy could
He
put
can
a
ping a
ball on your foot from fucking 50 yards, dude.
Well, someone's running full speed.
Yeah, legit.
We talked about that the other day, didn't we, Jeff? When Thierry Henry was on a podcast and he was explaining how people talk about soccer and they don't appreciate the level of ability to be able to hit a 70-yard ball at somebody running full speed over the defender, but close enough for where the attacker can get to it. It takes so much skill and practice that it's just not something you can walk out and do.
That's what makes Trent so great too. It's like everyone's like, oh, he doesn't defend that great. He's like, motherfucker. That guy
Look at the ball.
Guy's got more assists than anybody in the fucking EPL playing fucking right back.
And when he got killed for playing center midfield, like guess what? He played over center midfielders.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the coach thought, you know what? He's a fucking unbelievable passer of the ball. He can get shit done. That's kudos to fucking Trent, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he has that ability.
Talented, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's the other thing. Like, I'd say just reading all these comments and people are.
It's hell going on Twitter right now as a Liverpool
it's like
fan.
The first
I can't.
thing
I'm everything.
Is just
everything I see, I want to fucking.
Players.
I go over to the For You page. Everything is just fucking. I'm like, get me fucking out of here, dude. I don't need that negativity. It's.
I'll never slaughter a player. Why? Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know if they're carrying injuries. You don't know what shit is happening.
Yeah.
Right. But guess what? Everybody has good games and bad games.
Yeah.
Right. They're in a bad rut right now.
Guess what?
And it's
Guess
not
what?
really that
People
bad because they just fucking had great games in January camp.
people that go to
So-
work every day have bad days and good days too. You know,
Fuck.
people fuck up
You
their
know?
jobs too. It's like a lot of people expect these athletes to be so perfect every day. It's like, man, you know how hard it is to fucking
Yeah.
be good, play lights out every fucking game. But if,
Yeah,
you-
they got wives, they got kids, they got families, they got shit going on. They got.
And we're not making excuses.
no,
for them.
no,
Guys
no,
need
but
to
it's just
step up and
it's
they need to
impossible.
fucking-
It's legit impossible.
Yeah.
Besides maybe fucking 17-year-old Lamal. I mean that, buddy, that back heel touch inside is so fucking absurd. So
He's like
absurd.
Robin back in the day,
Buddy, the fucking
cannot stop it.
I saw the goal. I tweeted out the video, and then I saw the slow-mo. I didn't even realize he fucking back heeled to himself, cut to that poor defender, and fucking hell, dude. He's so
dude, he's
good,
a fucking
man.
player.
He's
a
so
player.
good. That Spain team, I mean, they won the Euros. They're probably favorites to win the fucking World Cup too, man.
Yeah, Gumpy, we were talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Like you have Germany. You think
we were saying it's just been feels like it's been too long since Germany's at a fucking powerhouse. Feels like they're gonna show up. You got Spain, you got Italy probably be back. I don't know what happens with Brazil, man. I don't. You just feel like in a major tournament they're gonna show up, don't you?
You feel that.
But do you like this is the thing we talk about with the States? It's like you get to the World Cup, it's like, is there that many is there that many great teams in the world right now?
Yeah, but you're saying getting to the World Cup. All the teams that do get to the World Cup are.
But do you fear like do you get to the World Cup?
You know?
Yeah. Do you get to the World Cup? Do you fear anybody other than the obvious? You know what I mean?
Well, thinking about the last World Cup, there were some sleepers, man.
Oh yeah,
Morocco, right? Like,
yeah.
Dude, look at what they did. Even for me, who was it? I forget the country because I'm drawing a blank right now. But they were like, I was like, look at these guys. They're performing.
Yeah.
Like they were an outlier. I don't know. Was it?
Let me see.
It was some Middle East country. I'm trying to think. Anyways, they performed, and I was like, you know what? Kudos to you, because they were taking it to a big country, a favorite. But I think that's where you're like, okay, you get there. Anything can happen.
You just got to find a way to get out. You get out of your group, and fucking anything can happen. That's all that matters. You get out of your group, you're fucking in the mixer. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything can happen. And I think that's where, hey, you never know. Guys might be fatigued after a long fucking season, right? You look at how many of those Brazilians, how many of the Spanish players are playing big clubs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, you name it. They're going to be coming off of a long season, right? They might be fatigued mentally, physically. Okay, now we got to recharge. And now you don't know if they're carrying nagging injuries, right? Depends on where they make it if they make it the Champions League final, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
like
so
I said,
much.
you just got to get in. On that note, we will call it a day here on the CONCAFA Soccer Pod. We appreciate you all watching, listening, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.